Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and this video is kind of like a personal video. That's why I'm kind of like sitting down. It's like a sit down video because I want to tell you my social media management story. I have been a social media manager for 8 years, but officially been running my business for like 2 years, and it's been it's been a roller coaster. I'm not even gonna lie, but I am loving it because at this point I am working towards the next phase of my life as someone in the social media industry. So I'm excited about it. Can't share yet, but very soon you would be aware. So this video is for anybody out there that wants to start out as a social media manager. This is my story. So what inspired me to become a social media manager? I would say there was no point. There was no moment that said, oh, I want to do this for a long time. I kind of like fell into it and I went with the flow, and it's working out for me. I would not say I am better than other people, but one thing I know about myself is I am graced when it comes to social media management. I don't know, I feel like God loves me more than some people when it comes to this field. I know God loves us equally, but I'm graced. Like there's a grace upon my life when it comes to social media management, that it comes kind of not really easy, but I find it easy in some parts, and I'm able to like maneuver and find my way and find my footsteps, my standing, my footing almost immediately. So how did I start? Like I said, I've been doing it for 8 years, officially running my business for 2 years. One thing I would say is I volunteered for the Marathon Messiah Praise, and I'm grateful to Bolaji Orundami for giving me like a platform to stand on. So Bolaji Orundami was like, I think, the assistant HOD for the media department for the Pastor Sid's family in RCCG. Please guys, please volunteer, because most of us that are social media managers now, most of us started from the church or from a volunteer organization. So I was literally Balaji's errand girl. I was always following Balaji. I wanted to see what Balaji was doing because I was very passionate about being on my phone. I was always on Twitter. I was always on Facebook, and I was just very curious. I wasn't on Instagram yet. I think I did not open an Instagram account until I got to the university. As weird as that might sound, yeah, I did not open an Instagram account until like 2011, 2012. So Balaji literally put me through, and when Balaji was leaving the country to Canada, Balaji recommended me to take over the department. And I remember it wasn't like, not the department, the unit. Like I wasn't like the head of the unit, but he recommended me as somebody that could manage like their social media handles and everything. I remember PSF was still on 10,000 followers then. Right now we are on approaching 60k followers. Yay! Yeah, we're approaching 60k, and we don't actually post every day. Most times we post more during programs. And I can boldly tell you that that page, or the church pages I've managed, has allowed me to experiment a lot. So Marathon Messiah Praise, 73 hours Marathon Messiah Praise to be precise. My HOD then was Tola Omoseyin, and Tola told us we must trend on Twitter. I have never trended before in my life. I wasn't even a Twitter influencer. I remember that I had only 2,000 followers on Twitter at that time because I already lost like 3-4 accounts. 2,000 followers was huge for me then. And it's still huge, you know, if you have 2,000 people watching you in this room. If I have 2,000 people, I would be definitely nervous to tell this story. So Tola said we must trend. And I think we were tweeting. And for those 3 days, we rarely slept. I think in those 3 days, I slept for like 72 hours. From 73 hours, I think I only slept for like 5 hours in total. But it was like, I think maybe that was like the point that changed my life, because I knew that yes, I could do this. I still have pictures from that moment. It's somewhere on the screen, and when I look back at that day and how my journey has come from then till now, I'm like, it can only be good. Like that's why I said there's this grace upon my life. It's not because I'm hardworking. A lot of people are more hardworking than I am. So yeah, that's like the answer to that question. I wrote the key points. So if you see me looking, I'm looking at my iPad. What steps did I take to learn about social media management and build my skills? Did I take any courses or attend any conferences, or did I learn on my own? So I would say both. I was privileged to have a friend that bought me courses. My first UDEMY course was paid. It wasn't a free course. And this friend willingly put down like hundreds of dollars to buy this course for me. And I'm like, what? And at the point, I even thought he liked me. But no, it just, I think God was literally aligning everything for my sake. So, and I am, if you check the description, you would see some of the links to the courses I took. So I took Google Digital Skills, the Google Digital Skills, and I can already tell you that I was way confused than when I started the course. Because I got to realize that actually, maybe after many years of taking different courses, I got to realize that some courses don't relate to the Nigerian market or the market you're currently serving. So yeah, you can check some of the courses that I've taken. I've linked them. Some of the courses I took on Udemy, I've linked them in the description, and I hope they help you too. And if you're like looking to start out, I also have my own courses. So I have free courses that you can take. I also have paid courses, and you can also join my community called the Social Media Avon. It's like a community for all social media managers, and we interact daily. We try to help each other daily, and yeah. So I also learned on my own. I was practicing on these church pages. See, these church pages helped me to maximize my potential to the fullest. So I was practicing every single thing that I've learned on these social media pages, and I can boldly tell you that it helped me a whole lot. So what challenges did I face when I was studying out? Funds was a big deal, and I understand if you don't have money when you're starting out, but just start. I was using Canva free for like 2 years, and I was playing around with the templates and everything, but I was using Canva, and most times I had to like create from scratch until I was able to afford Pro. And I started with an Infinix Smart 2 Pro, and I just started because I knew that I wanted to do this while I was still in school. Please, if you're a student, please read your books. I graduated with a 4.0 CGPA from computer science and engineering in Lautech. So please read your books because you would need it in the long run. You might not later do that course, but maybe when you want to further your studies, you want to do an MBA, you want to do a master's, it's going to help you like stand, how will I say it, in front of kings and not mere men. But yeah, what challenges that I faced? Funds was a big deal. Number two was the community. There was no community for me to belong to, so that's why I created like the Social Media Avon for new social media managers, because I realized that there was no community for me to belong to when I first started. So, and I told myself that I want to make sure that communities exist, especially for the Nigerian social media manager, because Nigeria already has had, even Africa is as hard. Being a black person, it's like the world is already against you, especially being a black woman. And most times you see it's mostly women that do social media management. So it was one of the major challenges, and specific obstacles that I had to overcome was my parents also. Yeah, your parents would not first believe in you when you tell them that, oh, okay, remote work wasn't in my time. It was 2020 that made remote work. Did you get? So when I first told my dad was like, you must be kidding, right? And I'm like, no, this is what I wanted to do. But what convinced them was the money I was making, and also like the speaking gigs I was getting. My dad was like, they are flying you to different states in Nigeria. And I'm like, yeah, they are. And they are paying me for it. And my dad was like, so it was the money and it was the impact that actually convinced them, because trust me, it's very hard to convince African parents. So that was also like a major obstacle. Systems is still one obstacle I'm trying to overcome. Systems, like trying to overcome, like build systems, workable systems that I am not fully involved in, is one thing I am, how would I say it? I'm trying to get. Another thing is the tools and the resources. When I first started, it was very hard. It's easy now. You can pay for apps with people. When we first started, it was not easy to like pay for apps with people and other people. So I was still using most of these free resources, and it was very limited. So yeah. And investing in myself was kind of hard because I literally I had to use most of the money that I was making and putting back into the business. I had to like reinvest my capital and everything. But yeah. How did I build my client base and establish myself as a successful social media manager? To be honest, I really don't know, but I wrote this as a key point. Maybe I can try to like explain it. I feel like my client base is not as large as that, but I did not take more than I could handle. So when I started, I just knew that I was going to stick to 4 clients at the same time. And this is on somewhere on the screen. These are some of the brands I have worked with personally, as an influencer, as a creator, and some of the brands I'm currently still working with. And I can boldly tell you that putting myself in that space where I know that I don't want to burn out, because I have burnt out once, made me realize that not everybody was for me. That's why I said you need to also realize that you need to niche down as a social media manager. I have a video on my channel. I'm going to link the card here, where you can watch how to link how to niche as a social media manager. You can also check the description below for that video. So once you know that this is the specific set of people you want to work with, you're not going to take in everybody. So how did I build my client base? I was always on social media. Like, I was always talking about my business. I let people know that I'm an ambivert. Sometimes I'm an introvert, sometimes I'm an introvert, sometimes I'm an extrovert. But I always made sure that people knew who I was, who the social media Oga was, wherever I went to. Hi, my name is Baiji. I am the social media Oga. And I did not show my face on that page until I hit like 1 or 2K followers, I think. Yeah, I think it was 1K followers. Like, I didn't show my page. So people thought that the social media Oga was kind of like a guy. It was so weird, because at first I had a co-founder and she's doing really well with her food brand now. But then we knew that the goals and the dreams were different. So we had to part ways. And people were really weird, like, oh, you're a girl. I'm like, yeah, of course, full girl with the breast and bum. I didn't mean that, but yeah. What do I enjoy about being a social media manager? There are a lot of things I enjoy about being a social media manager. I love the fact that I can always be on my phone and always be on social media. I also love the fact that I can learn new things. Social media management has tested me and has taught me patience that I don't normally have. And one thing social media management has taught me is to learn how to like say no and be very blunt. Like, trust me, I have healthy boundaries because of social media management. So I love that it has helped me develop new and good habits that I can always like look back to or fall back to. Social media management has helped me done that. Also the money, and maybe I like the fame, but I really don't, because when people see me in public, I'm like, I don't know how to say, hi, to social media account. I'm like, hi, I'm a big fan, and like I'm also a big fan of you. But one thing I would say I enjoy so much about being a social media manager is the ability to help businesses and social media managers like myself use social media the right way. Yeah. Is there a particular aspect of my job I find rewarding and fulfilling? Yes. My community. I think I have the largest community of social media managers in Nigeria. I'm not sure about Africa, but yeah, I do. So it makes me fulfilled, because your community has helped me a lot. And also, when I release digital products that actually speaks to the pain point of social media managers or business owners, I find it fulfilling and rewarding. Not just the money, but when I get feedback, like, you changed my life, or you inspire me, or this helped me. I find it fulfilling and rewarding. Yeah. Okay, so this person said, "Oh, how did I survive naysayers and negative comments when I decided to do social media management full time? I know the proper 9 to 5, but I know the feeling of you're not doing enough because they think it's ordinary social media and pressing phone. How did you deal with that?" Can I say, when I was with my ex, I felt this was this was last year. That was the only time I felt like this, because when a lot of people are introduced, oh, I work with MTN, or I work with Coca-Cola, and I'm like, oh, I work for myself, I work in socials, and they look at you like, that was the only time I felt like that. And how did I deal with it? I shook it off, because it's not easy being a social media manager. It's not easy being running your own business. There's no manual to this thing. There's no blueprint to it. Like, there's no, if you have, give me. But how did I deal with it? I believed in myself. I believe that my dreams are valid, and they are still valid. I'm still like, I'm hitting the marks that I never thought. Like, I'm creating a standard that I never thought I would create. So when people say they work a 9 to 5, I work at 24/7. Like, my brain never stops. Like, I'm thinking content ideas, I'm thinking every single thing we see, we're trying to like think of how we can incorporate it into our business, into our brands, our social media managers. What trends are we hopping on? What sounds are we using, and everything. I realized that I work way harder than most people that working 9 to 5, and that was one thing that helped me. Like, and one thing is, I don't compare myself to other people. That's why it's very hard for me to see someone else as my competition or be jealous of someone's success, because I feel like we are all on different paths as human beings, and the quicker you realize that, the better for you. So it was pretty easy for me to like shake it up. Like, yeah, sometimes it hits you, I'm like, oh, but then you need to heal and shake it off and be fine. Okay. Somebody said how I got my gadgets to work while in my first stage of social media management. Okay, I like this question. So when I first started, I did not have a tripod or a ring light. What did I do? Rechargeable lamps that my parents had. We had like 3. I will arrange it in front of me as my ring light, and then I would stack books to do like to stand in for my tripod. And then I think I was saving a lot. Then I kind of like got a loan from my dad that I never paid back to get my first laptop. Was it first laptop? No, my first tripod. It was like 4,500 then. Tripods are now expensive. I think it was 4,500. Yeah, 4,500. My first ring light was like 15,000. I still have it. My siblings still use it. It's like a table ring, like it's pink. Like, yeah, it's pink. Yeah, so that's like how I got it, was from sourcing for funds. And also, when I started, I had good friends that was just taking turns to subscribe for me. Like, my friends were subscribing for me, so one person subscribed today, another person subscribed tomorrow. It was really like, it was life changing for me to realize that my friends literally supported my dream, even if they were following computer science, and I still owe them a lot, and I can't wait to see them soon. Like, I can't wait to see them soon. What advice do I have for people who are interested in pursuing a career in social media management? Please don't compare yourself to anybody. The sky is big enough for all of us. Always make sure that you discern who you listen to, and just start. You would fail, you might not fail, you will cry, you will scream, some clients will frustrate you, but you would grow and learn from every single thing. I promise you. And it's going to change your life for the better. It's going to change your life for the best. I'm telling you. Social media management has changed my life. It has. Are there any key lessons or insights you've learned along the way that I would like to share? That's like the last one. That's like the last key point. You're unstoppable. Like, every single time I got hit with something else, I always like found a way to get back up. My laptop spoiled the first time, found a way to buy another one. Spoiled the second time, found a way to fix it and buy another one. Spoiled the screen spoiled again this year, found a way to fix it. Like, every single time. That's why I said there's like a grace, because It takes the grace of God to have that strength to stand up when things are knocking you down. I haven't signed a social media management client from January, but I can boldly tell you I've been making money. I've been cashing out. Thank God for that. And I'm just grateful for like the opportunity to be able to like create my own blueprint as a social media manager and also share my blueprint with the world. That's what I'm sharing with you guys. All right. I think that's it. And in closing, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, leave me a comment, and let me know, ask me questions. I would answer in the comment section. And your dreams are valid. If I can do it, you can do more. I promise you, you can do more. And don't give up. If you give up, now you go regret them. Don't give up. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.